As you can see, the hatch is in the garage. A few things happen, and that's the reason why the hatch is in the garage. Turns out, I'm gonna put a photo here on why the hatch is in the garage at the moment. This is the reason why we wasn't able to continue, and the car wasn't able to go to New York with Fred. So Fred had to buy a last-minute flight, fly back to New York, and he's gonna be back in a few weeks. One of our options was to sell the car. Not giving the issue to somebody else, but just because Fred didn't have enough time. And he didn't want to burden me with the car being here. I have the Genesis, as you know. I have my car, and then I have the Daily. This totaling out to 4 cars in front of my house right now. At this time, the car's in the garage. It was outside for a second. For a day or two, I think it was outside. Thankfully, I had my boy, Alex, not from New York, though, Alex from Florida, come by. He helped me push the car with my son into the garage. Thankfully, we got that done. So now it's in here. One less car to worry about. I have 1 car garage, so it sucks. And that means I have the CRV on the driveway, my WRX in front of the CRV, and his Genesis parked on the street. With that being said, as you've seen in the photo, that's the damage to the motor. We can't keep the car in time is the problem. So there's supposed to be a key in there, which is called a, can't remember, but I'll put it here. That key has to be in there to keep the car in time. What has been happening is that the car keeps skipping time and not staying in time, which causes the car to turn on, then turn back off. I think that the first day I got it, the car didn't want to turn on. We was able to get it on, and I had to keep revving it to get it here. Who knows, maybe that's what caused the issue, but the key wasn't in there in the first place. So I don't know who touched this car in the first place or what happened. Maybe they knew and that's why they sold it. But now the question comes is, what do we do? Fred has already invested money. He has a whole bunch of parts sitting, a whole bunch of parts in storage, a whole bunch of parts at his house. It was either to sell it, get another hatch that is running, because he just didn't want to burden me. I told him it's fine. We got the garage. Let's just figure it out. Let me know what your plan is, and we can go from there. We spoke about it. We sat down. When he got back to New York, he settled down. Our decision was to keep the car. So I took down the ad of the car for sale in Florida. We ended up deciding to keep it. We're going to swap it. It was between the B series or D series only because it's cost effective. He wants to go K, just not right now. He can, but it's just not the best financial decision at the moment. It's going to cost us around $5,000, and not counting the time that it's going to take. He needs this car to kind of go to A to B in a little bit in the city. He is going to keep it garaged, so that's important. We ended up looking, we found a B series between $1,200-$1,500, and we still got to get a few things to convert that. This car is also automatic, so we had to convert it to manual. So we're looking at close to maybe $2,000. He was like, that's too much. I don't want to spend that because that money can go towards the K. We decided, how about we just go D again? Pause. We go D series just to get the car running. So we decided just to keep it, source another D swap around the area, which we did find. We might pick it up we're going to pick it up Sunday. It's locally probably like 40 minutes away. Brandon's gonna help me with his pickup truck to go get it. Fortunately, it's an auto tragic right now, so we're gonna swap that to stick. Fortunately for us, the guy is selling us the entire swap. Everything, pedals, master cylinder, shift linkage, tranny, motor, harness, everything, the whole 9 yards. We're getting everything for a good price, and you know, it is what it is. So we're just gonna swap the new motor in, get that running, and that's pretty much my job for this project. Fred actually left it in my hands. He's my brother, so he trusts me, so I'm gonna try to do my best while the car is here. I got a few things that I want to do to it before he sees it as well, before he even like knows what's happening. He just knows I'm swapping the motor in. I'm gonna paint his engine bay. I'm gonna try to tuck a couple things. I'm gonna do a wire tuck on the headlight harnesses, a few other things, see what I can do. That's why I told him I was just gonna convert it to stick. Might as well, it's down here. So here's how it looks. As you can see, this is the motor. We did a lot of things to this. The headers is welded onto the whole exhaust system. It's straight piped straight back. So once I take that off, I'm gonna scrap all that. We're gonna get new headers and new cap back. This car was hit here, somewhere here. I was gonna do the radiator support, but I don't know how to weld, so I'm gonna leave that for Fred. But yeah, that's what we have done, and that's what we're gonna do. Day 2 of the teardown. We're gonna remove the motor at the moment. Yesterday I did a few things just kind of make it easier for myself today. I didn't have much time yesterday, so I'm gonna kind of work my way throughout the weekend. It's Friday today, August 23rd, I think. So I started yesterday. We removed the bumper because I needed that out the way. Drained the fluids. I got transmission fluid next to do. I started unplugging the harnesses. So now today is going to continue unplugging the harnesses, removing the fuel lines, and then kind of start removing the mounts. And I'm going to see if I can get the motor out by the end of tonight or tomorrow morning. That's the goal. We pick up the new motor Sunday. My goal is to at least get everything out of the car by tomorrow. Then that way I can have everything prepared, start sanding down the engine bay. Still waiting on the paint to ship out. It's a spray can. I'll put the website here, the link in the description on where I got the paint at. It's not this specific paint because it looks to be that this one is, yeah, that one, PT.3 Fred wants the Aztec green. This looks like it's a different green. What I found pretty interesting is I found this Honda of Canada. I don't know if all of them say that, but that was pretty different for me. Yeah, so we're gonna keep continuing to remove this. I'm gonna keep going, go from there. And that's also one thing we noticed, that every time we would start it, the timing belt was slipping off of it, and I think it was the tensioner that has to do with that. Everything unplugged, everything drained. Right now what's left is that fuel filter. I couldn't get it from the top. It's so corroded on the top. I'm doing it from the bottom. I'm switching out that fuel filter anyways. Been there for so long. And yeah, everything seems to be done. I'm gonna double check this side. I'll put the power steering to the side. I might have to do the compressor. Somewhat done, then the mounts, and kind of drop it. Which I'm gonna do tomorrow. Today's Friday. It should be like around 6 o'clock right now, 6:30. It's gonna be like about an hour to kind of do everything. Way more simpler than a Subaru, so definitely much simpler, much faster, less of a headache. And we're gonna pull this motor from the bottom, not from the top. I don't really have much space here, and as you can see, I have a few feet to my garage door, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so we're pretty much done here. I'm gonna just review everything else, make sure. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the how-to. I'm pretty sure there's a couple videos that was out there, so let's just speed through this really fast. Alright, so we're ready to pull this motor out. Everything is disconnected. We're pretty much done here for the night. Be back tomorrow and early in the morning to drop this motor out. It's Saturday. We're back to it. And we finally took out the fuel filter. It's right there. It's stuck with the fuel line. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I took out the bracket. I'm going to refinish the brackets for all the brackets in this engine bay. I'm going to do a nice, kind of try to do a wire tuck for my brother. So it's a little surprise for him. I've been researching on that, but right now I think that is everything. I'm gonna double check the AC compressor. I think the AC compressor has to come off as well. Let me review that real quick. I think we're ready to pull the motor out. I just got to take out the axles, and I think that's the last thing I got to do, and we should be straight. So let's get to that. All right, so we have gotten this far. We got the headers out. However, it's one piece. The last owners just thought it was cool to just straight pipe the whole thing. So that's my dilemma right now. Now I got to pick up the car higher to take the whole thing out because it's in the way, as you can see. And yeah, I got to also take out the lower control arm because the muffler is in the way. Exhaust, then take off the straight pipe headers out, and then we can loosen the mounts and then take down the motor. This is going to be left for tomorrow, as right now it's already almost 8 o'clock and I'm pretty much done for the day with this car. Tomorrow we're going to go pick up the new motor with Brandon. After we pick up the new motor, I'm going to set it aside, work on this to try to get this out and hopefully sell it. I'm gonna put it up for sale right now, see if anybody wants it. Probably give it for like $250 and you can take the whole thing. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And we are back another day. It is now the 31st, Saturday. And here's how far we got. I sound a little disappointed, is because I am. I was trying to take off this motor last night. I wasn't able to. Looks like the T-bracket in the back, I forgot to take it off completely. So that's holding me back as well. It's making the motor tilt forward. Secondly, I dropped transmission oil in the car. So that kind of took up a lot of time to clean up. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so we're now cleaning all the parts. Degreasing mostly all of it. As you can see, all the dirt. Yeah, that's all the dirt that was on this car. So today is a cleaning day. I'm trying to clean everything that I can at the moment since I'm still recovering from yesterday. Start hanging parts to paint, kind of organize and just paint throughout this week. Alright guys, so it's day, damn, I don't even know what day it is. But anyways, it's I think August 30th. Updates. Motor's still not out, but it's at the last step. The one thing that's holding it back is the headers, which is welded, straight piped all the way to the back. So now I gotta get that exhaust out, but the control arm is in the way. I don't know what they did with this car, but yeah, they put some paste there, some high temp paste or something, whatever it is, silicone. It's orange and it's straight, it's welded straight to the front. Not sure why, but it is what it is. We got to get that done. We got a few parts in for Fred. Amazon, you got to love Amazon. More wrap, more parts everywhere. It's just a mess here. I want to clean this up, but I'm also trying to finish this at least so we can get this car running. The new motor is there. I am currently painting it at the moment. I've been doing a lot of cleanup with that motor, the transmission, all the pieces that came out of this car, the new mounts, everything that's about to go into this car and being reused is getting freshly sanded, scotch-brighted, and painted. So as you can see, there's a little change there. And as we're back, you can see it looks way better. I still gotta do the other side. I gotta take things apart. But I'm trying to freshly at least get some parts done slowly. Motor's still there. Let me give you insight. See, the headers is down, but we can't take it out. gotta take this whole mechanism out. I think I gotta take out the bolts from the bottom, honestly. How to move it without breaking it. Got that one. So we got all the plugs out. They just popped out from here. There's some clips. Kind of just maneuver it. It pops out. Okay, just removing these 2 bolts, which is right here. 1, 2. So I took out the 4 bolts. It's wiggly, but I honestly think this clip is what holds it. Holds the linkage for the automatic transmission. I found the issue. There's 2 10mm bolts holding that up there. There's the heat shield as well. 2 10mm bolts with that one. I don't know how many yours have, but this one only had 2. And then there's a 10mm on that little hanger. It doesn't come out. It's a 10mm holding onto the subframe. Alright, shift linkages out. Let's pull the motor. Alright, great news. We got the motor out. So right there. Took a little bit of finagling from here to get it out. I think what gave me the issue. Almost dropped my Gatorade. This is what gave me the issue. I used 2 2x4s, but I don't think they were thick enough. So it gave me limited space. I ended up just taking apart the intake manifold, all the bolts there, and just maneuvering it to get it out. It was a time-consuming process. Pretty sure most of you didn't do it, but I just was working with a limited amount of time and I wanted to get it out. I was already right here, and that was the only limiting factor. Got that done. Now I'm taking apart that straight pipe because it doesn't fit in the car to junk it or throw it out. So we got that muffler out. I'll put the video here of how it looks. I'm gonna start grinding everything else into pieces so that way I can throw it out because it doesn't fit in the car. And next is the engine bay. As you can see how it looks right now, I'm gonna sand down all the rust spots, anything that's bad. I'm gonna clean it up, and the goal was to kind of paint this with the spray paint can that we have. I'm gonna avoid the front radiator support because he's gonna replace that. So before the radiator support, we're gonna paint. I think the hassle I'm gonna have is kind of taking these things apart in order to sand it down. I wouldn't do it just on top. Like, there's a lot of things to get out of the way. So my goal was to get under here, start cleaning all of this up, getting the mounts out, especially that one. I think that one gets replaced, and then probably cleaning the mounts up. Alright, so we just finished painting this side of the engine bay. We gotta throw another coat. We just did the first coat only. There's some spots there that I think I can go over again. This is not by all a professional engine bay paint job. It's raining. We're painting a bunch of parts, redoing a couple things. Alright guys, so it's a couple days in. I didn't record only because there was a lot of tedious things that didn't need to be recorded, like sanding down, preparing for the engine bay to be painted as it is painted now. We ran out of spray paint right here at the bottom. We got another can coming, so we're gonna do this side and probably the top layer over here, and that should be it. Secondly, we did the transmission. It's all painted. We're taking apart this old motor because we're gonna scrap it. I think somebody's coming to pick up the head. Once they come pick it up tomorrow, that should be out of the way. Put that up for sale if anybody wants it. Try to keep the harness, see if anybody wants the harness. But other than that, the transmission and probably the long block is gonna get scrapped because nobody's picking it up. And it's taking up space. We got headers. I'm just trying to make space in this garage. Look at what I gotta work with. So I'm trying to eliminate this so this motor can go here and I can start working on it because I gotta keep pulling it out, and it's honestly stressful. We got the clutch in, new mount in. I ended up ordering the wrong mount, which was an auto to manual cable mount. That was not it. I had to contact Innovative. They were great, helpful. They ended up assisting me and taking the return back and exchanging it for the hydro mount. So we got that in today. Other than that, we got a little miscellaneous stuff that we needed for the swap, which was a shift knob. I already started marking things. Shift knob. We got pedals, the covers. We got the battery tray, new battery tray because the other one was rusted. Master cylinder and the slave, brand new. We got, I think that's pretty much it. And then we got the mount on top of that. We got the pedals down there. We're working on the clutch pedal right now. I'm gonna then go to the other pedals, start, painting them. I want to make them wrinkle black, and that should be it. We should have this motor in by Sunday, I hope, and then I will work through the week to put everything else together on this car. My goal is to get this car running by the 22nd. We would need to get this car aligned. We would also need AC on this car. I think that's it. For that, we also got new upper control arms, which we got to do. I might paint these for him as well. I'm also trying to see if I could do power windows for him. He does not know that. I'm gonna also try to do that and try to connect the wiring. Somebody told me I can without the floor harness nor the harness that goes to the fuse box. So I'm gonna see how that works. I'll figure that out.